She's my rainbow baby. My first pregnancy with my son, Komet, I was roughly 25 or 26. I decided to conceive him. I had my heart set on being a mom. So during that time, I would clock in at 4 p.m., not get home until 12:30, almost 1 a.m. sometimes. And I would start searching. I probably had about 3 or 4 sites pulled up on like my laptop, or I had something pulled up, maybe a Facebook, because Facebook is easy to access off my phone. When initially I started looking and I typed and I had like any race, so many options. There were like pages and pages of donors, and mostly a majority of them were, Caucasian. And then when I limited my search to African American, there was just one page of, just a few on the page. It kind of shocked me a little bit, but I wasn't necessarily surprised. And I wasn't surprised because a lot of the families and a lot of the women that they use on the pages are Caucasian. I did try through IUI 3 times. Unfortunately, that pregnancy did end when I was 24 weeks pregnant. I went into preterm labor due to an infection that kind of spread through my body, and the only way to get rid of that infection was through delivery. So my son was born, and he was here for roughly 2 days. And, that was a really difficult process. But, I decided to take some time and really heal first and then start my process again. When I had to start again to initially find another donor for my daughter, and I showed my partner at the time, and yeah, that's when we decided to expand our search for maybe a donor outside of the African American race. So when I was pregnant, I did have a vision of what her hair would look like. I would try to like Google like mixed children, and like especially like of Peruvian and African American descent children. Just putting me and him together and just saying, oh, okay, well, my hair texture, should come out maybe thick, curly, or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how DNA works all the time. It has his mind of his own, so. Right now, we are on our way to the YMCA. And I am signed up for adult swim classes. I've never really actually learned how to swim. I kind of made it my duty that after I had her, in case of an emergency, I would really love to be able to save my child if I needed to.
Grace is a fantastic mom. She's definitely one of the best moms that I know. She's incredibly patient and kind and caring, but also protective and vulnerable with Azora. I think that she makes sure that it's integral that Azora is constantly learning.
When I had her, I was like, I'm not going to shield her. Like, I want the world to see, me being a mom and, the beautiful child that I created. During the pandemic, I started kind of TikToking, and I didn't realize like how much criticism that I would receive because my daughter was not fully African American. I received comments like, oh, of course she's mixed, or of course she's light-skinned, or, outside of me being a masculine presenting woman and having a child, now I'm being criticized for my daughter being of another, being mixed, basically.
Thinking about the comments that Reese gets online, I'm always disappointed. I think that a lot of it is just miseducation and a lot of lack of exposure to people who are different than others are.
Since I did conceive my daughter with a Peruvian donor, I did start trying to research and learn their culture a little bit more. I am not going to raise her strictly in an African American culture because that's not who she is. She's not 100% African American, and I want her to be able to know both her cultures, her African American side, her Peruvian side. Oh yeah, go Zori. My daughter is a blessing and she's beautiful and she's amazing and I'm so happy. So out of the money spent and the hours spent and the tears, and I would do it all over again. What's that? What's that?